Okay, so before we get started, we've been experimenting with the new mic setup. So you may notice a bit of a difference here as we've been adjusting to an actual dual mic setup and a soundboard. So bear with us, this should be the last week. Do you remember when we were allowed to cover stuff we liked?
Yeah, I miss those days. Just, before break.
Yeah, we got to cover Legion stuff, we got to cover we were gonna cover Destiny, we were gonna talk about Seraph, the new season of the Seraph, which is actually really good.
It's one of the best seasons I've done in the
Mhm.
past year.
You know that the Legion rules are supposed to come out next in like 2 days, right?
But
The-
instead, we're not talking about that.
no, we're not talking about our hopes and dreams for the new rules update for Legion. We're not even talking about Seraph Shield. We're not even talking about the poor state that Gambit is in Destiny. No, we have to talk about another Wizards of the Coast screw up.
Because they're trying to dig us over, as usual. Well,
They've hit. I think we should get into it. I'm your host Isaiah,
I'm Chris.
and this is Locked Loop.
We do not plunge headlong into folly on the orders of a single madman. Deploy the cannon! He's got nukes.
You're the last boots on the ground.
Position standby for defensive fire.
Jedi. Like my father before me. Ding! Vex on the feed.
Attention on deck. This channel is now under military control.
So, Wizards of the Coast made many mistakes.
That's an understatement. That is a very large understatement.
Now, normally D&D goes like an edition without a major controversy.
Mm-hmm.
So we're due for one. We just didn't think it would be this bad.
This bad or this big.
Yeah.
This is really bad.
So the issue is Wizards is just finding out about the fuck around and find out scale with a community that doesn't fuck around.
No.
So they're finding out real quick. And so when they went to release the OGL, they released, of course, they sent it out, got leaked, it got confirmed, everything in regards to that. And so we were kind of waiting for the dust to settle for a
Yeah.
second.
The dust doesn't settle.
No, it's not going to settle.
That's not going to settle.
There's been a lot of funny things that have happened and very some other unfunny things that have happened. So what we're going to go through is we're going to go through their reply. Because they issued a reply on 2 days ago from recording. So they issued a reply on the 12th.
Yeah.
The new OGL was supposed to come out on the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go through that. We're just going to go paragraph by paragraph. We'll read it and discuss what that paragraph is and how majorly they screwed this up. Because they threw this document in front of a bunch of people that read, study documents, do puzzles, and study spreadsheets religiously.
Yeah.
And they thought they could get away with this. I know the Wizards of the Coast CEO was originally from Microsoft, where they can get away with this kind of shit.
Yeah.
But you can't get away with it with Wizards.
No, you cannot.
In Wizards. Okay. So, first paragraph, I'll read it. I'll go. When we initially conceived of revising the OGL, there were three major goals in mind. First, we wanted the ability to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful and discriminatory products. Second, we wanted to address those attempting to use D&D in Web3, blockchain games, and NFTs by making clear that the OGL content is limited to tabletop role-playing content only, like campaigns, modules, and supplements. And third, we wanted to ensure the OGL is for the content creator, the homebrewer, the aspiring designer, our players, and the community, not major corporations to use their own commercial and promotional purpose. So I can see a blatant lie right there already.
Yeah.
We want to make it is limited to tabletop role-playing content and campaigns, modules, and supplements. No, you didn't make that clear. You made it clear that you wanted to own all of those.
Yeah.
And you wanted to not pay. So that's bullcrap. Don't try to pull this on us.
No.
That's a lie.
That is.
And three goals in mind. First, we wanted the ability to prevent the use of D&D being included in hateful and discriminatory products. The OGL has a clause where Wizards of the Coast can strip the OGL license from people already.
Yeah.
So that's a lie. You need to stop bullcrapping this. Next one. You want to take it?
Yeah, I'll take it. Driving these goals were two simple Driving these goals were two simple principles. One, our job is to be good stewards of the game, and two, the OGL exists for the benefit of the fans. Nothing about these principles has wavered for a second.
That was why our early drafts of the new OGL included the provisions they did. The draft language was provided to content creators and publishers so their feedback could be considered before anything was finalized. In addition to language allowing us to address discriminatory or hateful conduct and clarifying what types of product the OGL covers, our draft included royalty language designed to apply to large corporations attempting to use OGL content. It was never our intent to impact the vast majority of the community.
I sense that's a lie.
That is a lie. Okay, I want to say this one thing. You sent this out to a draft out to content creators. You don't send drafts with contracts.
No.
This was not a draft, and you don't send a draft a week before you're supposed to release it.
No, you're definitely not.
No, you were hoping this was going to slide under the radar. We're not going to notice. You didn't think that the community was watching, and we were. So this whole draft language was a complete lie. You sent it out with contracts. You did negotiations with Kickstarter. You probably did negotiations with like Critical Role and other large groups. So don't sit here and say, "Oh, we were turning it in last minute."
And I also like that they said the included royalty was to stop royalties from large corporations. Roll20 isn't a large corporation. None of these companies are large. They're very small corporations.
Yeah. So the draft language okay. So in the original, the draft language was that they would take 25% royalty from anybody making over $750,000 in revenue.
Mm.
Okay, that sounds all right until you consider they also required everybody who is under this OGL to submit their income to them if they're over $50,000. If you're not going to take 25% until it's the 750,000 mark, why do the people who barely scrape by with 50,000 a year in revenue, not profit, revenue, and that doesn't include revenue from other sources?
Yeah.
Why would they have to submit this to you?
Yeah, there's literally no reason for this.
That was a blatant lie. However, it's clear that from the reaction, we rolled a 1. This is a public response. Don't be making jokes.
Yeah.
You didn't just roll a 1. You rolled a 1, fell off a cliff, then the goblins attacked when you were making death saves. You rolled 2 nat 1s on your death saves and died instantly.
Yeah.
You didn't roll a 1.
You don't deserve to make jokes.
You don't get to make jokes.
Yeah. Not after what happened last week.
If you guys can't tell, I am mad.
I think everybody should be mad.
Everybody should be really mad. I mean, they made a bunch of mistakes here, and I think the fan reaction is amazing, and everything that's happened has really made them realize, oh crap, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
But this, you don't get to make we rolled a 1 joke. No, you didn't roll a 1. You made a fool of yourself at the table. We're going to be holding a writer's room to kick you out.
Exactly.
All right, the next OGL will contain the provisions that allow us to protect and cultivate the inclusive environment we are trying to build, and specify that it only covers content for TTRPGs. That means that other expressions such as educational and charitable campaigns, live streams, cosplay, VTT uses, etc. will remain unaffected by the OGL update. Content already released under the 1.0 will also remain unaffected. So you're backtracking on the whole this will apply to everything in the past.
Yeah.
And I'm starting there because the next thing is what pisses me off the most.
What it will not contain is any royalty structure. It will also not include the license back.
No. I'm still talking about that one paragraph.
You're still talking about that one paragraph.
Cosplayers? You guys read your thing. The fact that the community never thought of cosplayers,
yeah,
and didn't think or care about that. There was no reaction about the cosplayer because cosplay isn't.
It's an art.
Yeah, it's not a game. These cosplayers aren't dressing up as one Dungeons and Dragons character for their entire career. No, they wear the costume to an event. They enjoy it. You're not competitive in cosplay.
Yeah.
But you mean you guys were willing to go after them under the previous OGL? And you guys thought enough about it to put it in this one?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Exactly.
No. And of course, from charitable campaigns live stream. So wait a sec.
You were thinking about
You
taxing.
considered all of these. What this means is everything here they considered under the old OGL and wanted to get away with it.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't think we're giving them enough credit, no, we are. They don't deserve any support after this.
Yeah, I agree.
Any support in this with one, the blatant hypocrisy.
Uh-huh.
Two, the fact that everything has come from leaks, and you guys were just gonna roll this out
Yeah.
without talking to anybody and releasing it initially to the entire community. No, you don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. Everything you put in here makes us go, oh, you considered that under the original one.
Exactly.
You were gonna take 25% from charity live streams?
Uh-huh.
You were gonna take 25% from charity.
Exactly.
You
Why?
wanted your piece from St. John's, St. Luke's.
Yeah.
Because that's what these charities are for, mostly hospitals.
Yeah.
And kids. So, yeah, you want to steal money from kids? And you considered it? Really? Okay, let's move on before I get even more ticked.
What it will not contain is any royalty structure. It will also not include the license back provision that some people were afraid is a means for us to steal work. That thought never crossed our minds.
That's bull.
That is definite bull.
Because you considered live stream and charity campaigns. Don't play this crap.
Yeah, right. They're even within those, like, they flip flop on paragraphs so often. It's like, oh, we didn't consider this, but then they say they considered it in the next paragraph. It's like,
They initially
seriously?
said we considered this, and we're like, oh, we didn't mean for it to say that. And they're like, oh, we didn't consider that. No, you did.
Yeah.
You did. You just thought you could get it by us.
Mhm.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Under any new OGL, you will own the content you create. We won't. Any language we put down will be crystal clear and unequivocal on that point. License back language is intended to protect us and our partners from creators who were incorrectly alleged that we steal their work simply because of coincidental similarities. As we continue to invest in the game that we love and move forward with partnerships in like film, television, and digital games, that risk is simply too great to ignore. The new OGL will contain provisions to address that risk, but we will do it without a license back, without suggesting we have rights to the content you create. Your ideas and imagination are what makes this game special and belongs to you.
Okay. So most of that was all right. Clear statement. I want to point something out here. The license language is intended to protect us and our partners from creators who incorrectly allege that we steal their work simply because of coincidental similarities. This is Wizards of the Coast. These are the people that have stolen multiple artworks for promotional materials without crediting, thinking it was theirs. No.
Yeah, no.
No. You guys steal enough artwork. We're not going to give you ours.
Yeah.
That should not have to be stated.
Yeah, it should not.
The fact that it was considered and was in there is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
A last couple of thoughts. First, we won't be able to release the new OGL today because we need to make sure it is right, but it is coming. Second, you're going to hear people say that they won and we lost because making your voices heard forced us to change our plans. Those people are only half right. They won and so did we. Wait, so this isn't us versus them?
Is that what you're saying? Because I'm guessing that we might go full Nazi and burn our D&D book.
I mean, I might burn it anyway, but here's the issue. One, we're supposed to be a community.
Yeah,
the community is not behind you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying like every time the community's behind you need to fall in line, but when every side of that community is going, this is a bad idea.
Yeah. This is how.
And you say us versus them. So are you considering that that we shouldn't have a say in this?
That's exactly
should
what I'm
we?
hearing.
Wow. In which case, we're the consumer.
We need to stop buying your crap.
Yeah. I say vote with your wallet. And people have.
Yeah.
So this us versus them mentality that you have, that's not good. No good community can sustain when the creator is against it.
Yeah.
You can't sustain it, and they'll just leave
Yeah. I'm guessing with this, like, a lot of people are if they do go through with the OGL, I don't even know why they had to revise it in the first place.
because money.
Oh, right. We talked about this last week.
Because D&D is under monetized. Shut up.
Okay, Hasbro, you're not making enough money from your GI Joe toys.
Actually, Wizards of the Coast outpaces Hasbro. Wizards of the Coast makes more money for Hasbro than all of their toy lines combined.
I know.
So I'm like, this is the one profitable place of Hasbro, and it's a very small company. So I'm going this us versus them mentality in a community-driven work.
Yeah, this is not a smart idea.
You've just said we're not working with each other to make this game better. You just said everybody who's ever bought a D&D book and everybody who has played a single session of D&D is on one side and Wizards of the Coast is on the other.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, we've seen how Wizards handled things within the past year.
Oh yeah.
You know, the MTG 30 that there was a huge backlash because they were like planning on giving like $100 gift card or something like that. Or
No,
no, it
oh
was even more
no.
insulting. I think it was like
Oh, you
25.
mean the cosplay
Yeah, the cosplay contest.
the cosplay contest at the Magic Fest. Yeah, where they were going to give like $200 in like Joanne's gift cards or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it's like they only backtracked because one of the major content creators who doesn't do cosplay was like, guess what? That's not enough. I want to see cosplayers there. I will offer $2,500 to whoever wins the contest. And they're like, crap.
But our own content creators is offering more money than we're willing to give them.
Yeah. Okay. Our plan is always to solicit input from of our community before any update of the OGL. Shut up. No, you didn't. This got leaked.
Yeah.
You sent it out. You sent it out and it got leaked. You made contracts. You made deals.
Yeah.
You didn't approach the community with this.
Yeah. If you would have approached the community, it would have been like blog posts
You would have blog posted that
or live
streamed it. You would have posted it like months in advance if it was a draft so that the legal team could revise it.
Yeah.
Based on feedback. So don't lie. You don't release it a week before saying, "Oh, we always intended to get your feedback."
No.
No, you wanted to slip this by.
Yeah.
The draft you've seen were attempting to do that. No, they weren't, and it was not a draft. Stop calling it a draft.
Yeah.
We want to always delight fans and create experiences together that everyone loves. I don't believe you. We realize that we did not do that this time, and sorry for that. Our goal was to get exactly the type of feedback on which provisions worked and which did not, which we ultimately got from you. Any change this major could only have been done well if we were willing to take that feedback, no matter how it was provided. So we are. Thank you for caring enough to let us know what works and what doesn't. You need what you need and what scares you. Without knowing that, we can't do our part to make the OGL match our principles. Finally, we'd appreciate the chance to make this right. We love D&D's devoted players and creators who take them on incredible adventures. We won't let you down.
That last sentence, I call bullshit.
Yeah, you already established it's an us versus them now.
Yeah.
Us versus them. You can't say we support
Also,
you.
I love the line, which we ultimately got from you. It doesn't say whether we wanted it from you. It says we ultimately got it from you, which means they didn't want it at all.
Yeah, they didn't want it at all. The issue is people voted with their pocketbooks.
Yeah.
So many people unsubscribed from D&D Beyond that the site crashed. And when it came up, they hid the unsubscribe button.
Oh.
And people had to call it, and they kept calling in. So, no. People voted with their wallet. They made sure, because in another leaker post, they said the only feedback they cared about was the subscription numbers on D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
And WotC leaker said that after this went out, after their meetings and everything, it was clear. WotC's attempt was their reply to their employees was, "This OGL is coming out eventually. When it does, fall in line."
Yeah.
And one of the people there were like, "No, I'm releasing this. I'm releasing this to the public. They need to know that the only thing that matters is D&D Beyond subscriptions."
Yeah. And now what? They're gonna try and buy Roll20 or something like that.
They won't.
No.
Roll20 won't sell to them.
No.
Because Roll20 is a general VTT.
Uh-huh.
They don't do D&D exclusively.
Oh yeah,
They
they do
do
all sorts of
yeah,
stuff.
they do all kinds of stuff, Pathfinder and everything.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't go after them. I don't think Roll20 would trust them. So this whole thing is filled with lies and double language,
hmm
and it ticks me off.
Yeah. The fact that the creator of the game doesn't care for their people.
Yeah, the creators very much don't care.
hmm
They they've already established it's us versus them. They're only mad that we caught them red-handed,
hmm
and this is a community that is built on trust.
Yeah. And you just burn that trust to the ground.
You burn that bridge, and it's not coming back.
No.
So, do you remember what happened when they made a similar mistake to like the OGL with 4th edition?
I think so. No, I don't.
Pathfinder got invented.
Oh, that's right.
Pathfinder was made in response to the OGL.
Oh.
To their last time they tried to update something like it.
Oh.
Pathfinder got invented. So there's going to be competition.
Uh-huh.
The fact that you guys just shot yourself in the foot.
No, they racked it. They racked the shotgun. Was holding it down, and someone walked up and pulled the trigger on their foot.
So this is disturbing, honestly.
Yeah.
And we went through the letter and the content in the letter, and I just want to talk about how disturbing it is because this is these are the same people that also own Magic the
Yeah.
D&D, the D&D creators must be under a tremendous amount of stress because they've seen Magic the Gathering explode.
hmm
I was talking with Tony, one of the guys who we play Magic with,
Uh-huh.
and Nick. Yeah, Nick. About this. And they talked about it and they're like, yeah, this is very concerning.
Yeah.
Because they talked about how Magic has a controversy every year,
hmm
but it always dies down.
hmm
And I think that's what Wizards of the Coast is like, okay, there's a controversy with D&D, let's do the Magic approach.
Yeah.
And they're not realizing that it doesn't work with the D&D audience.
The D&D community. I'm gonna offend a whole bunch of Magic players when I say this. The D&D community is smart, way smarter.
Oh, 100%. I like to think the Magic community is a bunch of, well, I don't want to say idiots, but a certain majority of most of the Magic community, like high level competitive people,
Uh-huh.
suffer from savants.
Hmm.
The brewers are savants at brew.
Yeah.
But they're not pilots.
Yeah.
They don't pilot their decks. They get a savant at piloting decks to pilot the deck.
hmm
So when D&D is so very different.
Yeah.
And yeah, D&D is undermonetized, and they talked about how that was I'm like, yeah, they just worded it poorly. We talked about that as well last night with Nick. But I'm like, this reply is a fallen line.
Yeah.
We're sorry, please fall in.
Yeah.
And the community is not going to fall in.
No, they're not.
I talked about this. Everybody's like, we have to leave D&D now. No, you don't. You don't have to leave D&D.
Just go homebrew.
Well, it's not just homebrew. There are other editions.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We're coming in with one D&D.
hmm
If we want to show them they hate what they're doing with one D&D, stick with 5e.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you were doing. Introduce homebrew. Homebrew is great. There's plenty of resources out there that are phenomenal for home. There's Dungeons and Dads. I know, right?
That's such a great name.
I know, right? I'm so disappointed we don't have it.
Mhm.
We're not even fathers, and I'm like, Dungeons and Dads is such a good name
That
for a
is such
show.
a good game.
It's like Dungeons and Dads, Monster of the Week. I'm like, and what they do is they adapt earlier edition monsters into 5th edition.
Yeah, you told me about this.
And it's really cool.
Yeah.
Highly recommend Monster of the Week. You can get some scary ideas. But I'm sitting here going, yeah, this is bad.
Yeah.
We're doing a shorter episode today just because we just wanted to go through this. We had something else entirely planned, and then this happened. So I'm like, I'm livid.
Yeah.
I'm livid. This is not okay.
Mhm.
In fact, I'm like, yeah, we have Game Master's Arsenal.
Mhm.
I have Game Master's Arsenal, and we talk about D&D. Well, on this show, we used to do it more, and then we're like, wait a second, no, D&D, like, if you're doing a D&D show, it needs to be its own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm looking at this, I'm going, this is worrying. I'm like, okay, yeah, I have Pathfinder to fall back on. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got no problem picking up Pathfinder.
And from what you've heard, Pathfinder is much easier to DM.
I wouldn't like move my entire campaign to Pathfinder and be like, we're now playing Pathfinder. But it's like after we're done with this,
Yeah.
our campaign, we don't stream it or anything. But after we're done, I'd be like, hey guys, I need to get experience with Pathfinder. You guys mind if we change systems for the next campaign?
Yeah.
And then of course my Game Master's Arsenal would just be like, guess what? We're now covering Pathfinder only.
Yep.
If you still came after me on my earlier episodes on D&D, guess what? I don't have a problem with pulling down.
Yeah.
So, and I know they worded it, but I think they're liars.
Yeah, I think this is like, I feel like this is lawyer talk.
This is people who wanted to sound like lawyer talk.
Oh yeah.
I think they were worried because before this went out, people were already on like, we need to hire lawyers train on the class action lawsuit train.
Yeah.
The trick for the majority of the community who this will not actually affect, the trick will be don't buy their things for 1D&D.
Yeah.
Don't integrate 1D&D into your campaign. Unless they release a new 5th edition book. That's it.
Yep.
Where we have Monsters of the Multiverse. We have all the content we're going to have other than homebrew.
Yeah. And there's some really good homebrew stuff out there.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic homebrew stuff. Like I said, like Seeker's Guide to Twisted Taverns. I've heard good things about like other things. I honestly I wish more people. I laugh at this. Did you know that Critical Role started as a Pathfinder game?
I think you told me that. Yeah.
Yeah, it originally started as a Pathfinder game. Nobody remind anybody of that because they might go back to playing Pathfinder.
Yeah.
I'm just funny. I don't think it'll affect them. I think all those big guys got a contract and got a negotiation.
Yeah.
I think they were hoping nobody would notice. We caught them red-handed. They tried to backtrack. And they just stumbled over themselves the entire way.
Yep.
And now there's got to be meetings about, okay, what's the future of D&D look like? Because the community's not going to back you after this.
Yeah, no.
There's no reason. I don't think this goes away. I think the best question I had when I was talking to Tony, and he asked me was, where do you think we go in a year? Where do you think, in a year, what do we think of this mess? I said, we're at the point where WotC, Wizards of the Coast, needs to do some inventory to see if they've torpedoed the ship.
Yeah. Because it kind of seems like they have.
They need to do the inventory to say, okay, we've been torpedoed. We torpedoed ourselves. Can we get to port to repair the damage, or do we need to scuttle the ship?
Yeah.
So that's where they're at. They need to really stop and say, okay, are we too far gone?
Yeah, exactly.
Or what can we do to get repairs? Because they're gonna need to do a lot.
Oh yeah.
Because no one's gonna believe that. In fact, I'm thinking about starting to send them like emails like every time I post an episode, because Game Master's Arsenal makes like 5 cents an episode. And so I'm gonna keep sending them emails like, hey, under the new OGL, do you want 2 of these cents?
That's like really passive aggressive.
I'll mail them into you.
2 pennies.
2 pennies. I will happily mail those 2 pennies into you because I know how much it takes to process payments. In fact, I will send you 3 pennies for payment so that you have to send back 1 penny. Because
it costs them more.
It costs $2.50 to ship something like that from a large company for every letter. The amount of money it would take to process this stupid little amount would bankrupt.
Yeah.
I encourage everybody to just send them 2 pennies. Do it. Do it. We've already destroyed their phone lines. The phone lines are already flooded.
Let's destroy their mailroom.
Yeah, we might as well bring the mailroom in on just send in all the complaints. We have online, they've gotta have their headquarters address with a PO box. So we just send it. We just send it. Just letter after letter of we don't agree. Uh, Actual, like, letters because they would have to process them, which takes money.
Yep. A lot of money, to be honest.
A lot of money. But honestly, that's just petty.
Yeah, that is very, very petty.
I'm just being petty here. Honestly, I think that's all we have.
Yeah.
A little bit of we're at a normal length now, but overall, WotC, you need to figure your crap.
Yeah, this is not good for the game at all.
This is not gonna be sustainable.
Mhm.
Not at all.
That might be sustainable for, like, the CEOs and the bigwigs of the company,
Oh,
but for the
no.
players, no.
No, we have options.
Yeah.
I think that's something they don't realize is we have options.
Uh-huh.
Because guess what we can do? We can play Pathfinder, but we don't call it Pathfinder because nobody has the name recognition of Pathfinder.
Uh-huh.
We could just be like, "Oh, yeah, we're playing D&D."
Yeah.
Tell our friends, like, "Yeah, that's what we're playing. We're actually playing Pathfinder."
Uh-huh.
Guess what? Yeah, we're like, "Yeah, it's actually Pathfinder, but it's just like D&D."
Yeah.
We just call it D&D.
Mhm.
Make Dungeons and Dragons a general name for tabletop role playing games.
Like, they have, like, Kleenex and Band-Aids and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that like in courts, it's like, yeah, this is just the generic term. So honestly, there's a number of different ways the community can go about this. There's a bunch of ideas. I mean, that's all we have for you.
Yep.
So I'm your host Isaiah.
I'm Chris.
We're logging out, and hopefully next week we'll be able to cover something a bit more lighthearted. Season of the Seraph. We still need to run Spire of the Watcher.
Yeah, and GM's release this next week.
Yeah, GM's release. So we're gonna be doing some Destiny shenanigans.
Yep.
Um,
Catch us on our Twitch.
Catch us on Twitch. We're usually streaming those stupid shenanigans. If you guys want, like I said, I've got a clipped YouTube channel. I will pin our last Destiny episode.
Operation Seraph's Idiot.
Operation Seraph's Idiot. The next one is going to be called The Voyeur in the Spire. It's a working title. The Voyeur in the Spire. Come on. All right, we're logging out.